All right. I do not understand what is going on with my desktop audio. Okay, now I'm starting to see the bars moving, but I hadn't messed with my audio settings, and then all of a sudden I was just like getting nothing. I'm getting something now, but that is gonna kind of suck if my earlier VOD is just like me talking to myself. Because normally like I have to turn down my audio for Rainwave. 'Cause usually it plays loud enough that it will kind of drown me out. So again, it looks like it's fine now, but I don't know what was up with it earlier. Also, I need to I need to update OBS because I think there's a version or two that I've skipped over. Now for the good news. I potentially have a new game to mess around with on MAME. So I kind of want to see if that's working real quick. Go ahead and put some favorites in the request line, and I need to get Hex Chat opened up. Hmm. All right, we'll see what becomes of that. All right, where are we? Um, it's not showing up. Well, thanks for laughing at me. Rainwave, you jerk. Yeah, what the hell, man? Well, we got Firebat here. That's what matters. What the fuck? Is this just like... I don't even know. I don't even know what could be the issue here. Why this game isn't showing up. That really sucks, though. I'm thinking they might need to be extracted from their compressed folder. But even then, I hit shutdown. I need to get a fresh drink. Oh, so this guy, a robot called Fight. I actually own that game. It's just been uninstalled for so long that I forgot. Yeah, I need to go get a fresh drink, so I will be right back. All right. I am still going to be, of course, taking my customary restroom break in just a couple minutes. I get my data dealt with here. Now then, there's lots of other games that I have in my MAME folder that are still in their compressed form, and I'm still able to play them. Because I don't think I have any more folders in my ROMs folder. I think they're all just compressed. So I don't know if it's an issue with the version of MAME that I have on here. And updating my newer version of the homebrew stuff. Well, that's just something I haven't done yet because that's on a micro SD that's in a full-size SD card adapter. And I don't think I've got a normal SD card slot on my laptop. I might, and I just haven't looked closely enough to see where it is. But I've been using a USB adapter to update the SD card that's in this Wii. So I don't know how it's going to behave when I've got an adapter plugged into an adapter. Might just be fine. I think I've even done it before. I just don't remember if I've done it on the adapter plugged into the adapter, or if I've copied stuff over to a different laptop and then used the SD adapter with the micro on that. The other thing would be just get a new SD card. And there's something. There's like 2 or 3 files on this current SD card that are actually somehow corrupted. So whenever I try to just do a blanket cut and paste of the data that's on this card to something else, it always gets hung up because there's something in some subfolder that is having a problem. And I really have just not yet taken the time to figure out what's going on with it. But it might be a good time to actually think about it, because I do want to update like all of my Super Metroid ROMs. That's a lot of work. And that's a lot of tentacles. That's the worm! Hell yeah. Another reminder that I need to remake the Squid Slots Bestiary. So I will be right back. Leafy sunset. Make sure these things are sitting on my head properly. There's no good way to get this dumb headphone cord to lay properly. Man, let me tell you, I'm holding on to a very faint glimmer of hope that there's going to be a lot of people out of town for 4th of July weekend, and that there's not going to be a whole lot of people shopping at my store tomorrow. Just what the dumb chords ordered. Yo, what's up, Firebat? Oh my god. God, there is something screwy going on with my audio tonight. Not my microphone audio. Like my headphone and speaker and OBS desktop audio. I think it might be because I had my headphones plugged in before I opened OBS. Because normally my headphone volume percentage is a lot lower than my normal speakers. I'll be shopping there and I'll be asking lots of questions. I mean, shit, dude, if it's only you, I got no problem helping out. That's hoping against hope. Where are the fireworks at? Why aren't they on sale more? Where's the manager? Actually, I think the sale that we're currently on ends tomorrow. So I think like maybe on Sunday, if we have any stock left, then we'll probably cut the price on them. Of course, if we have enough left over, then I think we're just gonna send them back to a distribution center, because that's just what my store decides to do. Alright, let's... set the goal. Let's ready up. The fireworks are right in front of my house. Have luck, good fun. Thank you, Firebat, same to you. I'll buy all your snakes and sparklers, please. And these fireworks that I'm hearing have to be coming from at least a little ways away. Race will begin. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Because the management of my apartment complex just sent out a text message on Thursday reminding everyone that shooting off fireworks is not permitted on the property. I don't know what they're gonna do about it if someone does, but... Yeah, animals handle fireworks differently. I do really kind of feel for a lot of the pets that get scared of this stuff, though. God damn it, we have to celebrate our country's independence by setting off explosions everywhere, making it sound like a fucking war zone. 4289. near an airport where they fire them off half a mile from my backyard. Oh, wow. Yeah, when I used to live closer to the downtown area of my city, I would always see massive sky-filling fireworks. I know someone who's getting married today, the opposite of independence. Sure, there will be fireworks of some kind. But yeah, I was... Yo quiero blowing shit up. I was actually kind of surprised earlier today. Oh, to kind of harshly change subjects. I was kind of surprised when Ponk and I got done playing Vampire Survivors. He was actually telling me that he wants to come back to it next week. I was like, oh wow. Kind of surprised by that. Said he stopped doing it shortly after I moved here. I would get to see the big one from my backyard. Neighbors do plenty and don't clean anything up. Yeah. That's the shit I can't stand. Is when everyone just like sets shit off, like on side streets, and no one bothers to clean shit up. So they're like, oh, it's paper. It's biodegradable. Fucking scumbags. I'm in a subdivision. Oh, yeah. Then that shit gets all sorts of bad, because then people are just doing it in their fucking driveways. I am relatively close to a subdivision, so that's probably who I'm hearing setting them off. I mean, really, if I stop and think about it, I'm close to like 2, if not 3 subdivisions. Probably just 2, and the one I'm thinking of is really big. Because I think that one sits between me and one of the other ones I was thinking about. Which isn't really a subdivision, it's more of like a cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac is the wrong word. It's 2 cul-de-sacs that connect with each other. Nice drops, you moron. Fuck, he's slow fighting me. Oh yeah, no, there's something going on with my audio tonight. Like my volume levels. Again, my microphone seems to be working just fine. But like, Rainwave in particular is much quieter on my end than it usually is. And then, again, I had to crank the audio in OBS to even get the bars to look like they were moving. So that probably means bad things for my VOD of Vampire Survivors with Ponk. It's probably just gonna sound like me talking to myself. Like, for my headphones, I usually have the volume turned down to, like, the minimum, and I can hear Rainwave more loudly than I am currently hearing it. And then if I want to really hear it, then I turn it up from 2% to 4. So I think it has something to do with my order of operations when it came to setting up the stream. 1 missile drop and 3 rounds of BT farming. Fucking gross. You can hear, but it's a bit quieter for sure. Yeah. And I still have the volume levels tweaked a little bit on Rainwave itself. Like, it's where that volume level is where it has been for the past like year or two, or however long it's been since I started having screwball issues with that volume bar. And by that I mean I'm still getting the issue where I click on the volume meter is like a full bar away from where I click. Is your Rainwave volume configurable? On the website, yeah. As far as like my personal volume mixer and OBS, I have that stuff maxed out. So, I mean, in order to get Rainwave to be a bit louder, yeah, I would just need to increase the volume on the website. Because if I just increase the volume on my headphones, it doesn't do anything for the stream. When stuff like this happens, it makes me nervous about, like, going in and changing a whole bunch of settings. Because it's like, dude, I guarantee all it's gonna take is just, like, me actually resetting my computer, and everything goes back to the way it was. So I want to try and increase it if possible. I mean, I can. Once again, I am really bad at multitasking, so I would need to find a good spot in the game for me to go and do it, and the one spot I can think of would be at bowling. Because that's like the biggest break in the action that I've got. And then you've got people like Firebat typing out fucking full complete sentences during door transitions. I'm like, dude, I am not that fast on a keyboard. And I do not have that convenient of a physical setup for my equipment. One of these days, I'll quit being a lazy shithead and actually get that fixed. Only current problem with getting an actual computer desk that has room for all of this shit is the fact that I don't really have space in my apartment for it. I've got like a big... what's that thing called? It's kind of an entertainment center. It's what my brother used to use for an entertainment center. That can easily enough be used as a computer desk. Although it has drawers in the front of it, so I wouldn't be able to like sit right up on it like a normal computer desk. Cool. Got hit by that dumb claw as soon as I tried to shoot that super. There we go. Actually had enough time there to do it. So that just raised the volume on the Rainwave site by a full bar. Probably a little bit more audible. Means I might not have to be so mumbly, but this guy's down here. Fuck. And it still feels like it still sounds like it's really quiet compared to how it normally is. I don't know, man. Tonight just might not be the night for me and technology. Because in addition to all this crap, I need to figure out why some of the arcade games that I've added to my SD card for MAME are just not showing up in the menu. Like I just put the arcade version of Hook on there, and I was kind of excited, you know. Hook is one of those arcade games that is like surprisingly good. Probably because it's an IREM arcade game, and IREM just made really good arcade games, and no one puts them up on the pedestal that they put like Capcom and Konami. Because let's be real here, when most people think of IREM, they think of R-Type, and that's about it. Arcade game based off the Blues Traveler song. Yeah, what's the guy's name? You play as John Popper, just walking around hitting people with a guitar? Is that the right guy? Hitting people with a harmonica. Even better. Blues Traveler is not a band I'm familiar with. I probably need to change that at some point. I could say that about a lot of bands, though. Putting the harm in harmonica. I like that. I'm trying to think, what was the other arcade game I tried to get working on the Wii, and it just didn't even show up in the menu? Not Ninja Baseball Batman. I had that problem with that game well before this. I just need to figure out how to format my ROMs for my newer Wii. My newer homebrew stuff. It's just, again, there tends to be more connection issues with that setup because I have to have an adapter plugged into an adapter to get my computer to actually read the micro SD card. Yeah, this probably goes without explanation, but the arcade version of Hook is a beat 'em up that's based off of the movie starring Robin Williams and several others, but most notably starring Robin Williams. I guess the thing that I never realized about that movie was that the studio really expected Hook to be like one of the biggest movies of that particular time period. Not just like the biggest movie of the summer. They expected it to be like an all-time classic. I guess I just like... What am I doing? I'm on autopilot, that's what I'm doing. I need to go get Ice Beam. Forgetting what part of the game I'm playing. Saw the music video, Robin Williams killed it. Funny thing about Hook, the arcade game, Peter Pan is not even, like, the best character. Like, he's really good, but he's not the best character. And you probably wouldn't guess who the best character is. And the best character in that game is the fat kid named Thudbutt. Because he has a very unfair fighting style. I'll say that. And on-the-ground attacks are very, very effective in that game. Only fat kid can prevent forest fires. Might need that on a t-shirt. Speaking of might need that on a t-shirt, I think I need to reorder my Legends of the Hidden Temple shirts. I don't know what my dumbass did, but I cannot find my Green Monkeys shirt anywhere. I've got all the other ones. I just don't know where that Green Monkeys shirt is. Funny thing is, it's probably like... It's probably sitting somewhere rather obvious, but I just keep passing it by because it's a dark enough shade of green that unless I'm looking at it with bright lights on, it does kind of just look black. And the t-shirts on the old show were not that dark. I think that's like one of the first photos that I posted on my Twitter page. But I need to get like 2 or 3 copies of each. Start wearing them as work shirts. And we got worst crabs. It's a shame, because the clinic is closed for the holidays. No one does chicken like emergency shampoo supply. Might need that on a t-shirt too, just for the absurdity. All right. Ghostbusters. I like when you turn mouse trails on. Me too, man. Dude, I remember I did that one time as a kid on our family computer, and everybody else got so mad at me for doing it. I was like, what? Then just go turn them off. That's too early of a jump. Let's just hit him with the big boy beam. Slow boy tonight. Should have him, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can imagine, after having eye surgery, giving yourself larger, larger cursors to deal with would be a lot easier. I need to get an actual PC again instead of a laptop. Because I can only increase the resolution on my laptop. Well, I can only mess with my resolution so much. And I've got a monitor that I'm using that's easily twice as big as the monitor on the laptop. And I sure would like to have more room to mess with and still have everything be easily readable. Feel like I could have a lot more on my monitor than just like 3 or 4 windows before shit starts getting a little too jumbled up, especially if I'm capturing a bunch of different windows for a stream. Oh, that should have been a power bomb that I laid back there. Well, at least I don't have to worry about this being a good run. PC would definitely make some headaches go away. Yeah. I just... Well, the fact that I am making more money now than I have been in the past, not only because of wage increases at my work, but because of my transferring to a new position. It's just, I've got to save up to do it. sometimes that's not as easy as it sounds. Especially when I also have a car that I need to deal with. Nothing in particular, it's just I own a car. Cars are expensive to deal with. Congrats on new position. Well, thank you. It's been a couple weeks that I've been doing it now. Maybe like, maybe a little over a month that I've been in that I've been officially with the curbside pickup people. I do like the new role because there is such an increase in my activity. My old position, I was literally just going through like 2 or 3 aisles of the store and just straightening shit on shelves. So that shit got boring really fucking fast. And then I noticed when we were starting to get pulled to go help the curbside people, my work days started going by so much more quickly. And that's really been the big improvement. Is yeah, my energy levels might be a bit lower than they used to be, but my work days also go by a lot more quickly. And that's what's more important to me than just about anything. Yeah, my official job title changed from merchandiser to personal shopper. And there have also been a couple of across-the-board wage increases at my work as well, which is nice. Unfortunately, my management staff is a crew of idiots that doesn't know how to deal with a well-known issue. And that well-known issue is the fact that there's a number of people that are not able to access all parts of our in-house computer system. And some of the things that they're not able to access are, you know, pretty important things, like their pay stub. And a lot of my management team is of the mindset that they don't want to rock the boat with the people that are higher up than them by letting them know that there's an issue. The funniest thing is they haven't even proposed any kind of a workaround. Like, normally the workaround would be, okay, well, let's just give you some new login information. And, you know, we'll see about transferring a lot of your data from one account to the other. Nope, haven't even proposed that. I've told people about this issue like 3 or 4 times, and every time the response is, we can't do anything about that. Like, that's funny. You put a C and an A on that word when you should have put a W and an O. It's not that they can't do anything about it, it's they won't do anything about it. And that is just the wrong kind of attitude for management in any situation or in any business to have. Oops. But then again, that's why I don't want to be a manager. Because I don't want to have to deal with this kind of shit. I want to just go to work at a regular time. Collect a fucking paycheck. The funny thing is, I've checked my pedometer settings, and I'm still clocking in between like 13,000 and 15,000 steps on a daily basis at work. So it's not like I'm just sitting around in my old position and all of a sudden I'm expected to fucking do something now. It's just what I'm doing now involves a lot more physical activity. Clunk. Which, I mean, let's be real here. That's a good thing for me. Because I do not get a whole lot of exercise outside of walking around at work and occasionally lifting heavy things at work. Favorite thing at work is escalating things. I just tell my team to threaten people with having me contact them. That's 2 wasted missiles. Usually does it at this point. They would rather not deal with me. I can understand that as well. That was a big one. It's because I'm a jerk, but I look out for my team. Hey. It's the kind of manager I like. Be a jerk to everyone else except your team. I used to have a manager that stopped that sentence after just be a jerk. And just everybody at that place hated that guy. And according to what I heard, he was responsible for writing out a schedule for one particular day that left someone all by themselves in a department, so they didn't have anybody to spot for them while they were on a forklift, and they ended up getting hit by a fucking truck. First time I've ever gone to a funeral in my work clothes. Not the first time one of my coworkers has died, but it's the first time one of my coworkers died on the job. And instead of that manager getting, like, any of the blame for it, our store manager had to leave. And he had nothing to do with the situation. Unfortunately, the other time that one of my coworkers died was from a domestic situation. And it was extremely unfortunate because I happen to like that individual. But I mean, stuff like that wasn't really too terribly new and different for me because I remember having to deal with like teachers and staff members at my grade school that died while I was a student there. So, again, it's still sad because no one deserves to lose their life in a domestic situation. And quite frankly, I think the other people, like the teachers and staff members at my grade school that died, I think most of them had been fighting cancer for a while. So it was just kind of like a sad inevitability. But enough about that shit. That was another big one. Actually, before I move too terribly far away from that dark subject matter, um, a couple of the vocal coach YouTube channels that I've been watching lately um, have been reviewing a couple of the songs from Nirvana's MTV Unplugged performance. Navy Sheen. The official color of U.S. SEALs. Fuck, was that the name of that movie? Had Charlie Sheen and I think Michael Biehn from Terminator. Bean? I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. He was not a he was not an actor that stayed famous for very long, to the best of my recollection. But of course, one of the songs that these vocal coaches were reacting to and analyzing was the last song on the set, which was, I think, Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Is the actual name of that song. And that's the one where Kurt Cobain's eyes just like flare open right at the end of the song, and he lets out like the most depressed sounding sigh. And that was his last public appearance before his death. So it's like, and since it was their first time really like listening to the band or watching the performance, none of them knew that. None of them knew that it's like, oh yeah, he allegedly killed himself like not too long after that performance. And that moment is kind of seen as like Kurt Cobain just kind of like admitting defeat in life. Or it's just like he came to the grim realization that it's like, no, this is gonna happen. Again, Pretty sad, but at that point, Kurt Cobain was an absolute fucking wreck. And if he wasn't going to get himself help, then he was going to get himself a gun. And that's not the kind of help that anyone needs. I think he was more disappointed in the fact that one of his producers didn't spend 5 digits in order to get him a special guitar. I forget exactly how expensive that guitar was, but it was like more expensive than a new car. By a sizable margin. But also, that was not the end of the song. He still had like another... Still maybe had like another round of the chorus to go. Oh, so close. Tail, please. Lost count. Need to wait for the color change. Okay, so that's 12, that's 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and you're dead, sir. How are you not dead? Quit not being dead. Oh my god, get your ass back down here and be dead. For a hard-earned thirst, the final count-up. I don't know, whenever I've done the countdown, it feels like I'm not doing it right. It feels like I need to start at 19 instead of 20. It's like if I start at 20, I feel like they end up dying at 1. I don't know, maybe I'll do it for Mother Brain and I'll see if I'm an idiot or not. Well, we gotta get down there first. Again, it's the stretch between Dragon and Ridley that is my least favorite stretch of this game. It feels like that is the longest stretch in this game where all you're doing is just going from point A to point B and you're not, like, getting power-ups along the way. Even though you do get Screw Attack, it's just there's not really a whole lot between Space Jump and Screw Attack. It's like, okay, I gotta go do this. I gotta go get this. I gotta go. No, it's just, gotta get through this room, gotta get through this room, gotta get through this room, etc. Still so sad that neither of the Top Gear games have a sound test. Need to see if there's ROM hacks that add sound tests to Top Gear and Top Gear 2. And there's Insane Firebat taking first with a 48-21. GG. I still think it was kind of a clever idea for me to use my N64 as a jukebox. Even with games that didn't have a sound test. Start up Mario 64. Open up my completed file. Go to Dire Docs. Have that playing in the background for an entire night. Really think the first game... One of the first games I did that with was probably GTA Vice City, now that I think of it. Since we're just gonna start up Vice City just to listen to the music. Used to do it with San Andreas a whole lot. As it stands now, I haven't played that game in an embarrassingly long time. Actually, I think it's probably been over a year since the last time I even played anything on my PS2. Which is a damn shame. I have a lot of PS2 games that I need to play through. Click, 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 click. So yeah, another abrupt change of subject. Earlier tonight was my first time going through the DLC for Vampire Survivors. So I didn't really know what to expect. And I still have yet to do any of the Ode to Castlevania stuff. I have a lot of shit that I just need to look up for Vampire Survivors. It's just kind of unfortunate because a lot of the time when I do try to look stuff up for that game, it's all outdated information that doesn't include the DLCs. I mean, I guess I don't know how strong of a community is still there for Vampire Survivors, because it's been out for, like, around 3 years? And it's not like it was a blockbuster when it first came out either. I just happen to think it's one of the best value games on Steam. Again, it's under $4 right now because of the summer sale, and it's only $5 normally. Our fucking Hello Kitty baby Metroid here. I mean, I would still say that, like, the Trip to Vineland's games are still among some of the best value games on Steam, but that's because, like, they are usually dirt cheap, and the gameplay of Trip to Vinelands is so fucking addicting. It's just Vampire Survivors, I feel, really hit that sweet spot for roguelites. There we go. Oh, I need to put Screw Attack back on before I forget. $19, $18, $17, $16, $15, $14, $13, $12, $11, $10, $9, $8, $7, $6, $5, $4, $3, $2, $1. See, that's what I'm saying. If I start at 20, which I didn't verbalize 20 when I hit her the first time, but I started at 20 and I ended at 1, which makes me think I need to start at 19 and then end at 0. Or I don't know how numbers work. Maybe that's why I also don't get SRL points, because I just don't understand numbers. That Timmy. Wonder... It wouldn't be that hard to figure out a spot before my usual dot time. There are two things that I do in my speedrun that are because of old information I have from a DBX tutorial, and one of which is doing the dot time when I do it. Because what I remember him saying was, if you dot time at the dead baby, then you pretty much have 2 minutes before the end of the run. For me, it's usually 10 minutes or 2 minutes and a little bit of change. But I mean, I don't even remember the last time that guy did a live stream, let alone when his Super Metroid tutorial would have even come out. Has to be over 10 years ago at this point. And that's, once again, kind of... Oh, come on, shoot this shit. It's kind of the weird spot I find myself in, where I always have, like, kind of lingering self-doubt about my knowledge base of this game. It's almost everything I learned about this game, I learned it over 10 years ago. I've had so much other crap find its way into my brain since then. The best song for escaping an exploding planet. Fuck. And we done. Hit the button. 58-58. GG. Hey there, word spoken. Thank you for the GG. Start at 20 before you attack, then say 19 when you attack first. Okay, yeah, so... As far as, like, the numbers that I'm saying, yeah, start at 19. It's, again, the numbers I'm saying. I'll create some worksheets. Here's some homework to do for your speedrun. Oh. Shoutouts to the printed artwork team. Close out of that. Air Force! Oh, man. This is reminding me that I was watching... A couple different days, I was watching Murphigator do a 4-job fiesta in FF5. And, you know, a couple of multi-hour streams. And then I see his stream title today. It says, lost my save data. I was like, oh my fucking god. This has happened to him twice now. And, I'm almost positive that he's using a... I think it's called a mister. And he's got it installed in an arcade cabinet. And the other game he was playing through somewhat recently where he lost his save data on that thing was when he had almost gotten all the way through Donkey Kong 64. So this is like lots of progress that he's ended up losing because of how he emulates. Just kind of sucks to hear, because plot, plot, fizz, fizz, oh, what a deer force it is! Nice. Our Merry Kakoma beats last year's Merry Kakoma. Oh god. But yeah, Murph's live streams have become some of my favorites on Twitch. Not because he's really done much of anything different. I mean, he's got a VTuber model, but that's not really the big draw. And his VTuber model looks like a very anime beat-em-up character. A giant pompadour and everything. It's hilarious. Alright, what am I doing? Well, I really wanted to play... I really wanted to play that arcade version of Hook. I think I just need to find something else. Hold on. Let me check my notes. I want to see if there's a room in Panic that is specifically called, like, a fireworks room. Or if there are just, like, fireworks as gags throughout various rooms. Should I just start reading off room names, because some of them are kind of funny? No. If I see something that just straight up says, like, fireworks room, then I'll mention it. There is the light bulb room that's right near the beginning of the game. If I can't find anything else, I think I might just come back to that. But I thought there was a room somewhere in Panic that had, like, a variety of fireworks as all of their gags. Button 5, TV pees on the wall. two groups shooting fireworks on my street. One's about 30 feet from where I'm racing, and one's about 50 feet away. Games with fireworks. I can think of Mario 1 and Chrono Trigger. Right. There's a room that has lots of constellations, but constellations aren't fireworks. Funky Horn Machine. No, that's the one where all of the gags are just the kids saying something. They're like barely even considered gags. Button 1, heads become butts. I might be thinking of this spaceship room where there's like lots of rainbows. But again, I thought they had one that was like all of the gags were fireworks. And it's starting to look like no. Button 6, they all puke. Yeah, no. Nope. I thought there was something that was like specifically fireworks. There's a fireworks simulator type game on Steam, overwhelmingly positive. I have a game on my wish list, and it might be the game you're talking about, it might be a different one. Where I thought it was like the whole point of the game was to just go around blowing shit up with fireworks. I need to not sort this by discount. Let's sort this by date added. Oh yeah, that game. Different game. Might come back to that at some point. What am I thinking of here? For a split second, I thought it said Power Wash Simulator was for sale, was on sale for a lot less than I remember it being. I was about to get really excited. Still think I might pick up the Smile Game Builder, since it's only $14. That seems like a fucking steal. Okay, Teardown is one of the games I was thinking of. It's a voxel-based physics destruction sandbox kind of game. Fireworks Mania. Too expensive for my taste, though. Fireworks Mania, if that's the one you were thinking of, that's only like $10 right now. Fireworks Desert Blast is free. Nice. But yeah, Fireworks Mania was the one I was thinking of. And then I keep seeing fucking 3D Sen PC, where it's an emulator that is capable of, like, it's a unique emulator that transforms classic 2D NES games into stunning 3D voxel experiences. The only thing is, I don't know how I feel about spending money on an emulator. Maybe that's just a personal hang-up, but I don't quite know how I feel about that. Should probably get 30XX, it's only $10. And then there's some unavailable item on my wish list, and I don't remember what it was. Added it back in November of 2019. Oh, there's a couple of them. Oh wow, there's more than just a couple of them. There's like 4 or 5. Now I really don't know what those games could have been. Because I'm still seeing shit like Alien Carnage. To be fair, that doesn't have an add to cart button next to it anymore. Yeah, it's no longer available on the Steam store. Which is fine, because I think somewhere I've got... either I already have, or I can go and get DOSBox files. Oh no! Monuments of Mars isn't available on Steam anymore? Well, you talk about a game that would be good for a 3D remake. People love level-based puzzle platformer games. Just reminded me I forgot to turn on July 4th event in Air Mech this morning. Oh, dang. Now Air Mech has fireworks in the lobby area. Nice! Game coming soon about firefighters called Fireworks Inc. Oh, if that game takes place around Christmas, it won't be the best firefighting Christmas video game in existence. It'll always be number 2 in that regard. There's only one. One of these days, I need to try to beat that game on, like, the actual normal difficulty, instead of just on easy. Get, like, the actual ending, instead of, you need to try playing on a harder difficulty. Derp-a-der. Well, do I have anything else on MAME that I can get to work that might be fun to play for a little bit? I'm kind of thinking that there's not. I wonder if I was able to actually type the name of the game up at the very top of the screen here. If I was actually able to type something, I wonder if it would. Wonder if I could get some of these other games to show up. Yeah, because my game should be right in there. Oh yeah, so a while back when I played through Final Fight Arcade, um, I checked the dip settings for it. It was actually on normal difficulty, so that explains why I kept getting my ass kicked. User interface. I don't think that's it. What about other controls? Might have something to do with something, but does that mean I'd have to have 5 joysticks or 5 controllers plugged in? Quote unquote plugged in, synced up? I don't know, man, but I'm pretty sure. I think the other game that I was trying to get on here was Growl, which is a neat arcade game in and of its own right. And of course, Ninja Baseball Batman. They're just fucking not here. I don't know. I think I need to just figure out how to get MAME on my other soft modded Wii working. What am I even looking for at this point? Feel the wind from my fan. The wind from my fan is not as warm as it was at the beginning of the stream tonight, so that's good. Means the temperature's coming down in here at least a little bit. Oh, SG&G has fireworks at the beginning. Now I need to go confirm that. Lots of little rapid fire fireworks going on out there. We got SG&G. And there's a race channel. There they go. There's a total of 5.5 fireworks that go off. um... Mario RPG has... Pretty sure they have fireworks during the ending credits. Either that, or it's just like during the end credits it transitions to nighttime, and then a lot of like the little parade floats or whatever that are going by are just all lit up. And I mean, I know I don't have enough time to even get into this video game, but I at least feel like looking at it for a little bit. Someone just blew one up at your window. Oh shit. This is such a cute little action RPG, and I'm reasonably disappointed in myself for not having spent more time playing this. Also, while I'm here... Okay. On the newer version of the homebrew software, the version of SNES 9X GX that's on that, you actually have the ability to like set what your fast forward button is, or you can clear that setting if memory serves correctly. With this, you can't. So I constantly have to be aware of the fact that I can't hit right on my right analog stick. because that's fast forward on this version. Feeling I'm just going to end up spending a bunch of time looking through my games list and not actually playing anything. So instead of doing that, I'll get back to the homebrew channel here. I'm at least going to load up this cute little fire simulation, which is kind of like fireworks. And they're not really like great fireworks. Switch to the wild colors. There we go. It's what I've used for 4th of July's gone by. But I'm going to take a quick break, refresh my beverage, possibly grab a quick snack. I will be back in just a little bit. All right. I yelled at people for that one. Good on you, dude. They shouldn't be doing shit like that. Wrath of an Insane Firebat rules! Okay. Enough of that. I think I've checked this in the past, and I think the RPG Maker game that I currently have loaded up is not one that is very pleasant to look at. Because I think it has to do with bees. Which means it is a very yellow game. This is why I need to make my own RPG Maker 2000 video game and load it up on there. Oh god, I actually have a list of Sega Master System games on here. Why? Well, I do have the Genesis version of Growl. It's not the arcade version, so I can't just quarter feed until I win. Also, is it going to get past the Sega logo on its own? Do I need to hit a button? Is it broken? I think this game is broken. Fantastic. Where's, There it is. Hell yeah. And then, like, the thing is... What, up here? Yep. Broke it. Is there another one over here? No? What? Okay, I have 2 Game Gear games, but then I have this folder that's full of Game Gear games. Wait. Okay, good. I'm about to say, please tell me. Please tell me I'm not currently wasting space on a Game Gear version of Batman Forever. That game is not worth the circuit board it's printed on. Any version of it. Do I even remember how to play Dragster? I don't think I do. I remember I got a pretty okay time in Dragster, all things considered. I didn't get, like, the best possible time. I got an okay time. I'm kind of okay with that being that. Dragon! I need to go kill the other one first. Now... go get the key. I went on the wrong side. I have to go the other way. Not that way, dummy. Probably not this way either. Oh no, we good. Grab my shiny trophy. Just saw Tillamorph pop in the race. Very nice. There we go. What a video game. actually really, really do like adventure. It's neat to see what you can do with such primitive graphics. Well, don't really have a whole lot of time. So I'll probably just do a quick run through of DuckTales, I guess. I need to find, or at least remake, my list of the jelly bean flavors from A Boy and His Blob. And try to replay that at some point, because that game's a lot of fun. Mostly because of how barely held together that game is. Actually, I'm already just screwing around wasting time. Let's now prepare the ultimate form of just screwing around and wasting time. It's another game that begins with D. That's right. Can't keep me away from this game. The most nonsensical glitch that I can think of in all of video gaming. That's a bad setup. I actually rewatched PJ's video on this from where he got it during a single segment playthrough on actual hardware with a cartridge and everything. And he has a very different setup than what I do. We're good so far. We might not be good anymore. No, things are still happening. And as soon as I say that, I think things might have stopped happening. We haven't crashed yet. Can I, like, mash my way out of this? Can I fast forward my way out of this? No? Okay. And when I say he has a very different setup, I think, like, his health and experience and Jade levels might be different. And he also goes into that final room with the horn equipped instead of bombs, like what I do. Because I just think it's funny to drop a bomb right outside of this door. Headcanon tells me that it's when the bomb goes off. That's when the glitch goes off. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh? I've probably crashed my emulator, but I don't know if I've seen this particular design before. I haven't crashed yet. There was one night when I was doing this just completely at random, and Um, I got to the part of the cutscene when the screen gets all wavy, and it got stuck in that loop of just playing the wavy screen effect over and over and over again. Don't think I got it on stream or a recording or anything, though. Bad setup. Haven't crashed yet. Yeah, this is a different one. We're getting some interesting results tonight. That's one of the things I like about coming back to this as frequently as I do. Because you don't always, in fact hardly ever, get the exact same result twice. Just because of how wild the RAM of this game is going. I have read the notes and like the description from tasvideos.org on this glitch. I've read them on stream a couple times because they know more of what they're talking about than I do. But again, it all boils down to the fact that this is a largely uncontrollable glitch that does not have a reliable setup for it, so it is a complete crapshoot every time you try it. But we are on a winning track right now until I opened my mouth saying we were on a winning track. Because full screen magenta is not what's supposed to happen. Maybe I'm a fool. We still doing something, game? Did we crash? Okay, we crashed. And I can tell that we crashed because I hit the home button on my controller. You know, to open up the emulator menu. And when nothing happens, that's how I can tell we crashed. Once again, this game is available on Steam. I don't know if the glitch exists in that version of the game. And the other thing is, I believe this is something I've mentioned on stream before as well, This glitch is maybe like... It's less than halfway through this game. Like, there is still a significant amount to this game after this point. Just updated my live split by accident and it's not opening now? Oh, shit. Also, I think my character might be, like, a different level than what PJ was at in his video. I'm actually about to head over to PJ's website and see if, he has anything to say about this glitch that's different than the TAS video's notes. Like I remember what the TAS video's notes say in granular detail. Okay, that's a good setup. Screen goes magenta, and then it cuts out like this. It's gonna come back with the black and white like this. And we're still doing things. I'm seeing shit moving. Screen is going wavy. Screen is still going wavy. We are in good shape here. Please don't make me regret saying we're in good shape here. Fuck, man, we got almost... That's the closest I've ever gotten to calling the credits. And then it just cuts to a solid color, and it actually crashed. Because usually when the wavy animation on the screen comes in, that usually means that you're good. Usually, in my experience of actually getting this glitch to call the credits. Which, if anyone out there might not know, that's the point of the glitch. Is to call the credits of the game when you're only, like, tops, like 2.5 to 3 hours into the game. And there's still, like, another, like, 3 or 4 hours into it. Or there's still another, like, 3 or 4 hours to go. I think that sounds about right. It's like a 6 or 7 hour long game. That doesn't sound too absurd. Not like fucking 7th Saga. It's like a 12-hour plus game. Yeah, buddy. The only RPG that I can think of where you are severely punished for grinding because there is a rival character that you have to get a key item from at some point in that game, and his experience scales so much faster than yours does. that if you get to a certain level, you have absolutely no way of beating him, because he's so much higher level than you are. Meanwhile, the Japanese version of 7th Saga, called Elnard, does not have that issue, and is therefore seen as just kind of a still kind of cool, but generally middle-of-the-road RPG. Like, there's nothing really special about it. It's got some good graphics, but that weird-ass mechanic that's only available in the US version makes 7th Saga quote-unquote special. Who do I want to be? Oh, let's be Ronald McDonald. I haven't been him in a while. I will be right back. Alright. Boy howdy, that is an ugly-ass color palette. I am not going to subject anyone to that color palette any further. Alright, I've already joined, so I don't have to worry about doing that. See if I can find my link to PJ's website. The supersnes.tv. Let's see here. Oh wow, no, he was able to get the glitch like an hour into the game. Okay, Dragon View is not as long as I thought it was. Okay, and this just takes me to his YouTube video. Okay, yeah. No, Dragon View is not anywhere near as long as I was just saying it was. It's like tops 3 hours if you know what you're doing. Many extremely talented individuals have looked into this and tried to make sense of it, but the end conclusion was the same. This basically comes entirely down to luck. Older version of Live Split from 2022 sitting around. Nice. Pop my neck and make sure that my headset doesn't fall off all at the same time. Alrighty. I'm all ready. I still remember from the week that PJ was doing single segment attempts at the Dragon View credits glitch, which he calls the Grand Memory Clobber. He was going to be streaming his attempts to get that glitch to work out properly for an entire week. And I think he ended up getting it to work like halfway through either Wednesday or Thursday. But at some point during that week, an earlier cutscene glitched out in which there's like this wizard, this evil wizard that like picks your character up and slams them onto the floor with magic. Except in this one attempt, his character phased through the floor and just started waterfalling. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go! And I just remember him almost dying of laughter. His character is just falling through the floor, respawning at the top of the screen, falling through the floor, just constantly looping until after some amount of time, he ended up actually hitting the floor. I just remember him, throughout all of his laughing, just saying the phrase from the Doctor Strange movie, "Dormammu, I've come to bargain." We're at 265. Well, at least my time also had a 4 and a 5 in it. That's all I can really say positive about it, though. Luck have, fun good. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. Refresh Rainwave. Oh boy. Let's go blow this planet up again. Oh, I thought I moved over enough. I was kind of hoping these guys would be wrapping it up, the fireworks, by 11 o'clock, but there's still a couple knuckleheads out there. Oh yeah, so the other night when I was watching David Lynch's Dune on YouTube. Um, Not the version that you would have to rent, because I'm not gonna pay YouTube to watch a movie that I have sitting in the other room. So I was watching like a really low-res version that someone had cut up into like 5 or 10 minute segments. And at some point, I did say to myself, I have a DVD player in the other room. I have a PS2 sitting right in front of me. And I have a DVD copy of this movie that I could just be watching instead. But as soon as I started thinking that, I was just like, it's also getting pretty late and I should probably just go to bed. Because Dune is a fucking long movie. It's an even longer and more nonsensical book. Even the synopsis videos that try to explain what's going on in the book or in the old or new movies is just a constant reminder of how unbelievably weird that story is. That fiction in general is just so fucking weird. I think I said something like this on Discord, or at least just to myself. No one is ready for Dune the first time they decide to either read it or watch it. If you go in as a completely blank slate, you are going to get lost quick. Just unapologetically bizarre. But then again, it is set in the year 10,000 something. Clunk. So who can tell what kind of weird bullshit's gonna be going on 10,000 years from now? Still think that David Lynch's version of that, his take on the book, his version of the movie, is still just such a great film to look at. The sets, the costumes, the visual effects, it's all just so good to me. Only to then, well after the fact, watch a snippet of an interview with David Lynch, and he calls that movie one of his biggest disappointments, and I'm like, well, it's not the first time I've been a fan of a creative work, only to find out well after the fact that the artist really, really did not like that particular creation of theirs. Nice. The other great example of that comes to mind is the album Cold Lake from Celtic Frost, because it is a complete departure from what their sound was. You know, they were more of like, I don't know if death metal is the right word, but they were definitely on like the more extreme heavy kind of side of heavy metal. And then they released Cold Lake, and it is like this weird kind of like grimy glam metal. And I think it sounds really cool. I think it's that same kind of sound that you would get from like hair metal or glam metal. But again, it just has like this really kind of sleazy, grimy feel to it. And there's not too many other bands out there that have that sound without also being like completely tongue-in-cheek about it. Imagine the band Steel Panther if they were dead serious. Instead of being a fucking parody of the genre. But Celtic Frost quickly realized that that is not the kind of music that their fans, that their core fan base wanted to hear from them. So they've gone on record saying, you know, they don't, pretty sure they don't play any of those songs live anymore. They're not gonna re-release the album or remaster it or anything. Fuck. The other band that kind of touched on that same sound would be Pantera, before they released Cowboys from Hell. They had 4 albums, 3 with some other lead singer, and then their first one with Phil Anselmo, were all this kind of grimy glam metal. Like Projects in the Jungle is a good one from them. But it's one of those things where I don't think those albums are ever going to get remastered or re-released, because when Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul were both still alive, they were both of the opinion that it's like, you know, that's not our sound anymore. That's not the sound that we became well known for. So, you know, we don't really see a reason in re-releasing it. Which, I mean, there's nothing to be said or done about it now, because again, they're both dead. But I just kind of find it a little bit funny that they're like, well, that's not our sound, and that's not really stuff that, you know, we want to re-release. But then they did Rebel Meets Rebel with David Allan Coe. I'm like, oh, so that's your sound? Nothing, not to take away anything from that album, because I do like it, but it's like, and this album isn't a complete departure from the sound that you guys came up with? I mean, come on. I think it was kind of another thing where they were just like, after they made it big with a harder edged style of music, I think it became kind of a pride thing. Where it's like, we're not really proud of this. Which, again, is a darn shame, because trying to think of the other album titles they had back in that era. Power Metal was the first one they did with Phil. Projects in the Jungle, I already mentioned. Metal Magic, I think, was their first one. And then I Am the Night. I think that's all 4 of them. And you can find them on YouTube. Like, they're not impossible to track down. I mean, I tracked the albums down back in the early 2000s. But then again, that's when file sharing services were the norm for where I would find my music. I have so many burned CDs in the other room that were 100% sourced from file sharing services. During the great era of files being so comedically misnamed, sometimes you just had no idea what you were getting until you actually listened to it. Best example of that being the fucking Legend of Zelda song that everyone thought was made by System of a Down. It was not. They have been asked about that hundreds and hundreds of times. They're like, no, that's not us. It's not a bad song, and the guy really does sound like Surge, but that's not them. There was another one that was a version of Genie in a Bottle that was performed by a male vocalist. People misattributed that one. God, how many different file sharing services did I end up using back in the day? I don't think I can name them all. I think there were at least like 7 or 8 different services I ended up using. And oddly enough, I was not, like, I didn't end up using Napster until years down the line. I had been using lots of other file sharing services before I actually turned to Napster. Even though they were the big one. There were like 3 of them, like 2 or 3 of them that had almost the exact same layout, just like a different logo. That's also where I ended up getting a lot of my... Actually, that's where I ended up getting all of my footage for the anime music videos that I made back in those days. That's why I don't have, like, HD video quality on any of my old AMVs. That and because none of those Dragon Ball Z movies had been released in America yet. And of course, HD video wasn't really a thing at that point yet. Fun stuff. I don't know. I don't know how many of my AMVs are viewable on YouTube because of obvious copyright issues. Pretty sure there's at least a couple of them that are viewable. One of these days I may have to spend an intermission going through some of those. This grainy old footage and fucking Windows Movie Maker, baby. On a computer that was loaded with junk. And so I was never really able to get, like, really smooth footage in my AMVs until a while later. I don't even know what I would put together for an anime music video nowadays. The one that I did, that I think I might have put the most work into, was from... The footage was from Trigun, and the song was called Tying Me Up by the Movies, which I downloaded from campchaos.com. Because they used it for some music video on their website. And the reason why that one's the one I worked on the hardest, I think, is because I had a lot of moments of lip syncing. Where it's like every time they said the chorus, tying me up, I had someone on screen, you know, lip syncing it. And when all of your footage comes from, like, the first 3 or 4 episodes of the series and, like, nothing else, it's an issue I ran into multiple times where it's like, oh shit, I'm running out of footage. I know I was able to publish the AMV that my brother made. Which he was taking footage from the second Dragon Ball Z movie. The one that was called The World's Strongest. Which I think was either the second or third one. And the song he was using was Now You're a Man by DVDA from the Basketball soundtrack. And that one's actually, you know, garnered a good couple of hundred views last time I checked. which is kind of cool because, you know, he's putting together this AMV almost as a complete joke. And surprise, surprise, here it is getting a small handful of views. I made a lot of music videos using songs from Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I didn't quite I didn't quite make a music video for every song on the album, but goddamn I came close. And a lot of them were Dragon Ball Z movies. Or Dragon Ball Z music videos at the very least. The one video that I had a lot of fun with was I think the song title is Cure for the Itch off of Hybrid Theory. It's like the DJ Han instrumental track that's right near the end of the album. And I put it with footage of the Thundercats. And I got a real kick out of that one. Actually, I think the AMV I made with the anime cutscenes from Chrono Trigger, it's like the PS1 version of Chrono Trigger that had the anime cutscenes. I combined that with the song Touched by Vast. And that was a good one. Mostly because that is like a very iconic song, at least in my mind. It was a song that was used in like movie trailers for just like years on end. I made the couple of like one-shot AMVs that I did, where it was like, you know, I'm only using this film for one music video instead of stuff like Dragon Ball Z, where, yeah, I may have only been using footage from one Dragon Ball Z movie, but I was gonna use, you know, Dragon Ball Z as a subject matter for a lot of my other music videos that I was making. But I did one for Ninja Scroll, using Bodies by Drowning Pool. And then I made one for Kite, using the song Ultraviolence by the band Chaotica, who was somewhat of a local band. I think it was mostly just that, like, the guy who was kind of the head of the band was going to college in town at the time. I actually got to see him in concert once. And I mean, for effectively what was a local band version of Nine Inch Nails, I really liked it. I know they released at least a second album after their first one, after their debut, I guess. And I have their debut album. And I think I've listened to their second album, and I don't know if they've had any more. I just remember there was There was a period of time when I was buying up just about every album that I liked from local bands in particular. I think the last one I ended up getting was from a group called Left Lane Cruiser. Because I got to see them perform live at a record store. And the cool thing about that show was that they were also having, like, a cookout at the same time. So, you know, we've got our hot dogs, we've got our baked beans, we've got our barbecue-flavored potato chips. And we're just standing around in this record store that I still go to every once in a while. Hearing these two guys just belting out some good old-fashioned blues. I mean, good old-fashioned, I mean, old what's-his-nuts. Robert Johnson, maybe? Singing into a fucking microphone that's sitting in a coffee can across the fucking room. So it's good old-fashioned blues, but fuck, it sounds so rough sometimes. And that ain't... Just say, that ain't talking shit about the more well-polished blues musicians that are out there. Someone like Joe Bonamassa is an absolute legend, but sometimes where he just sounds a little bit too clean for the style of music that he's playing. Get me in. Come on. Okay, at least I got the one power bomb. That's all I really need. Damn it. Oh yeah, I actually got that that fancy little box that I have that holds all of my old ticket stubs. Got that kind of cleaned up and dusted off the other day. I still feel like I need like an old toothbrush or something just to get into all of the little nooks and crannies of the detail work. But I did take a picture of it. I need to remember to put that on Discord at some point, because it is a very fancy little box. And then, of course, it's going to have to be the day when I open it up on stream and actually start, like, reliving some old concert-going memories from days gone by. It was like a couple months ago when my dad was in town. I went through it with him, trying to see if he and I could remember which of these concerts I went to with him, which of these concerts were in this area. Because I want to say that some of the ticket stubs just say House of Blues, and they don't, like, say House of Blues Chicago or House of Blues Cleveland. It just says House of Blues. I haven't had the itch to go to a concert in a very long time. Mostly because I just don't want to be packed in with a giant crowd. Or be the fucking guy hanging out at the very back of the crowd, leaning up against the wall of the venue. I'd really rather just watch concert footage on YouTube because I have headphones and a very large monitor. That and, you know, going to concerts and especially traveling to concerts is not really as cheap as it used to be. That, and I don't think I'm quite up to the task of driving through the night for multiple hours. You know, like, we get back to my dad's place in Chicago, like, around midnight, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna drive home tonight. Yeah, I don't think I'm up for that anymore. Combine that with the fact that I know that because of going to concerts and the amount of concerts that I went to, I know I have already started to fuck up my hearing. Because it took me a long fucking time to figure out, hey dumbass, wear earplugs. But I also know that from attempting to sing along with a lot of these bands and a lot of these songs, I know that I have fucked up a part of my voice. And I don't know if it's just my voice that ended up getting fucked up, or if there was more shit in my throat that I ended up damaging. So, I mean, hey, while I still like it loud, I think I'm just starting to get a little too old for that shit. At least I'm starting to feel a little too old for that shit anyways. And on top of all of that, I need to try to save money to get myself an actual computer again one of these days. At the very least, I need to start getting myself some more high capacity solid state hard drives just to be able to continue downloading whole bunches of dumb shit and have all sorts of oversized video games. I think the other day I uninstalled Fallout 4 and all of a sudden I'm not getting low storage space notifications from my computer anymore. Imagine that. All of a sudden you freed up over 30 gigs of space and you're not getting low storage notifications anymore. That being said, when I do have the available storage space to have Fallout 4 installed, I do have fun with it still to this day. You know, it was probably a number of months ago by this point. I had reinstalled Fallout 4 and spent like an entire night playing through the Nuka World DLC. So much fun. So I had to like almost completely relearn how to play the game. And fucking Skyrim is a fraction of that size, even with all the mods that I have. And you better believe I am still in love with that Daggerfall mod that I have for Skyrim. And I've streamed it enough times that kind of goes without saying at this point, but it just completely changes the look of Skyrim. Because Skyrim has this very, like, ancient, broken down kind of aesthetic to everything you see in the game. Whereas the Daggerfall mod, everything is like clean and pristine and 90-degree angles. Nice, clean, repeating brick textures. It just looks like a completely different game. And then your character wakes up on the cart ride to Helgen, and it's like, it was all just a dream. And you look at your stats, and you're like, oh shit, I'm level 30-something. Maybe it wasn't a dream. Nice catch. dead? Good. So I lost count a couple times there. More evidence that I need to be counting out loud. Ah, good. The chiptune version of one of the most familiar songs to me from the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. I need to try to remember what it was about the Steam version of Final Fantasy VII. Like, you could play through that game without going through random encounters, or you could go through the game without encounters. It's like random and non-random alike. I forget exactly what it was. Because I seem to remember you still had to do boss fights. But maybe I'm wrong and it's just been a long time since I messed around with that. Because I'm trying to think, even on the old PC version that I still have, trying to remember, I don't even think I made it off of the first disc in FF7. I know I made it out of the big city at the beginning, but I don't remember how far I made it after that. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I think the big reason for that is because I liked Chrono Cross better at the time. Especially when it came to the soundtrack. Oh my god. The music in Chrono Cross is so fucking good. There's Tillamorph taken first with a 47-15. GG. Need more chiptune remixes of Chrono Cross music. Also, trying to remember if that was. Trying to remember exactly what it was that I was playing at that period of time that would have made me not want to play either of those games all the way through, and I think the answer is Diablo 2. Think that was the game that drew me away from those other ones more than anything. And Insane Firebat taking second with a 49-48 GG. And there's Nintoaster taking third with a 50-54 GG. It's up to me to clean things up here tonight. Fuck, I can't believe that shot diagonally. Well, that happened. I'm going to stick my arm into this strange machine up to the elbow. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, purple Cheerios, go away. The wild berry Cheerios are after me. So it's 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. extra ones are what you did to my baby. Oh, I forgot to take extra damage. Good thing I didn't die while I was looking away from the screen. That would have been embarrassing. Alright. How the fuck do I spell the word time? There we go. Did it. Nailed it. Oh. $56 even for a dot time. So this is going to be noticeably better than the 9. Still gonna lose points. Get that garbage out of here. Not sure how I ended up turning into a ball there, but whatever. It was the first time for everything, I guess. This is a less appropriate song to escape an exploding planet to than what we had in the 9, but that's fine. I can't find the door. 5811 GG. Think I need a damp paper towel. This one part of this dry erase board is getting really, really smudged. It's just like... There's just like this big gray square on one part of it. That is an ugly as fuck 5. Shame that the 8 wasn't that bad, but that is not a 5 that I'm willing to look at for the next week. happened to find the fucking dry spot in the tip of this marker. I was almost done. I almost had it. Almost beat the dry erase boss. Ah, GG, we did it. Thanks for races. See ya! Okay, I can't completely clear my request line. Probably won't be able to stretch long enough to fit it on stream, but I do have the Chrono Trigger character medley coming up on Rainwave. I kind of want to listen to that right now. Yeah, Turian was just over 7. LN was actually not bad. 645? My 21 power bombs. That and my Crocomire times are like the two things that hardly ever change. Dear Force! Just can't help but wonder why Nintendo Power made Samus look the way that she did in that short-lived comic strip they had. Where she's got like purple hair and like a purple sleeveless bodysuit. And that comic is like the only instance of Samus looking like that. Like, no one else that has drawn Samus, to the best of my knowledge, has made her look like that unless they are specifically using that version of her as reference. And it's like, no, we wanted to draw the Nintendo Power version of Samus. Oh no. I haven't touched my slot lists. There we go. All right, everybody. We did it. No third place, so no memes. We worked our way around third place tonight. We got a second and a fourth. But we did it, and Dun did it. And with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for me tonight. A big thank you to Ponk for hanging out earlier tonight. I'm glad he enjoyed his first time playing Vampire Survivors. And I'm glad and a little surprised that he wants to come back to it next week. So there's going to be more of that, and hopefully I can get whatever audio issues are going on with OBS figured out. So I seem to be having the issue more frequently over the past like month or so of OBS either not recognizing my microphone or not recognizing my headphones when I have them plugged in and they have the audio still coming out of my speakers. So we'll get that figured out. And of course, a big thank you to Insane Firebat and everybody else from the SRL races here tonight. Was happy to spend my 4th of July blowing up planets instead of fireworks. And for everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. No, it's thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. I can't even remember my own outro. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you next time. See ya!